I think that being a composer, just like being any kind of artist, is always enhanced by being a broader and deeper person. Some people seem to be can be very sequestered and still be able to grind out great ideas. But I mean, I rarely go to hear music when I'm not writing, but I go to museums all the time. And I go to films all the time. Movie theaters are a great, great, great place to learn film music. In fact, probably the only true school of film scoring there is a movie theater. But, you know, I read, I do a lot of things. I also spend time in nature. I'm down at the beach a lot. I live near the beach. I also live up near there's a canyon nearby that I go hiking in. So I watch after, you know, I try to keep my mind and body and spirit in some sort of form that makes me able to withstand the rigors of this role. And at the same time, you know, at some point, you're sitting in a room with a bunch of really interesting, often very well-educated people. And, you know, directors are often very interesting people. And if you have nothing to say, then you're kind of boring, you know? You know, obviously your main role is to compose music, but, you know, they're not looking for, you know, organ grinder monkeys to write scores. Sometimes you want to go out to dinner or grab lunch or just chat for 5 minutes while your computer is rebooting after it crashed. So I think that having depth in one's life, depth and breadth, not having your whole life be about the one thing you do for a living, even if you're passionate about it, having other things that are of interest and value, whether you do them or simply enjoy them. As time goes on, you're glad that your life is multifaceted. You know, makes you an interesting person all the way around. It makes you of greater value to yourself. I don't know if it makes you better at a job for everybody. I know some people who I don't think it affects, but I mean, yeah, absolutely. And you know, you go to, especially listening to classical music or listening to music period and using it as a springboard for ideas. You know, if you hear something, if you hear a record producer do something or a DJ or a programmer do something that's quite vital, or a classical concert composer do something unexpected and vibrant, not to go rip them off, but to say, well, let me see how I might adapt that into what it is that I do. You know, whether it's taking a vocal phrase and chopping it into 100 pieces and rearranging it into random order, or writing highly bitonal or atonal music for orchestra and hearing how different people do it. I enjoy reading biographies of artists and seeing how people live their lives. You know, some composers or some artists, you know, are often selfish, self-indulgent, narcissistic. Some are not. It's always good to just it's good to know the world. And yeah, you know what? I would say that my music is highly influenced by who I am. And so by developing who I am throughout my life, because it never ends. You know, there's no such thing as there, you know? There's no such thing as there in life, there's no such thing as there in art, there's no such thing as there in career. There's always more to be done, there's always more to learn, there's always more to explore, there's always better ways to do things, there's always more. You know, it's Walt Disney made the fallacy when he said, and they lived happily ever after. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist anywhere in life. There's always a process before us.